It is leg day. It's also the first session of me being 31 years old. So hopefully nothing explodes or hurts worse than normal. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So yesterday, Wednesday, was an off day. It was actually my birthday. Had a great birthday. Today actually has always been the scheduled refeed that we have. It's been either a steak and potato or burger fries. So tonight I'm actually going to dinner with my family. So I'm really excited about that. Before we do that, we need to smash up legs. And we are, coming inside of 12 weeks now this Saturday. So 2 days from now, I'll be 11 weeks out from Tampa and then 13 weeks out from Texas. So we're in the swing of things now. I've been doing this for 5 weeks. All the boxes have been checked and, we're rolling. Really happy to say that, the mindset's definitely coming around and coming back too, because, it's always funky, getting back to the swing of things with prep. And, I'm no different. Every single prep of mine has taken, a couple days, couple weeks, sometimes even longer to really, get into the swing of things and locked in. But this prep, everything clicked early on, and we're rocking and rolling, so I'm excited. Talking specifically about today's session, legs has been going awesome lately. Everything's been feeling good. Over the years, I've had my fair share of, issues, little minor strains, imbalances, this, that, and another. This off season paid a lot of attention to doing a lot of corrective work and really evening out my hips. So that's allowed me to start hack squatting, pain-free and properly again. So I've really been enjoying that. It's been novel because I haven't hack squatted in probably over a year before I started doing them recently, like in the last month. So, going to run those up today again. Every session I've been beating last session's numbers. So, hopefully today's no different. Planning on it being no different. Finish tenderizing myself and we'll get to it. So, I guess I'm trying to think of the last time that I talked to y'all. And that was definitely before I went to Pittsburgh for the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, which was, about as much fun as I could ever ask for it to be. I got to get out there, had a couple awesome trips to the gym with literally all the guys. I think, the second day there, I trained push with Samson, and Nick was there, Sean was there, saw Derek around the whole weekend. Actually got to go out to dinner with Derek and his wife, so that was nice. So, it was a really refreshing weekend from the standpoint that I got to, spend some extended time with my peers and, have a good laugh. We all did about how we're all kind of deal with the same stuff day in, day out. It's a very, very small, select group of people that can truly say they understand what we do, so it's always refreshing when we get together. That group of guys from this past weekend, they're about as solid as it comes. So I had a great time with them. That show, it's spectacular. I mean, it's obviously Jim Manning's personal show, so it's one of those no expense spared kind of deals. But both the amateur and the pro level shows were a lot of fun to watch. It's a packed house Saturday night for the guest posing. We were all really well received. So all in all, it was a really fun weekend. It was my second year in a row getting to do it, and I said this headed into the weekend on Instagram, I think. But I grew up watching that show and grew up watching the guest posing at that show, and got to see Ronnie and Jay and all of these guys on stage at one time together, and this was so for me to have been up there, that's an honor to me, because I know a lot of up and coming bodybuilders are watching it doing the same thing, so that's not lost on me. I think it's really cool. It was definitely one of those pinch me moments. So really fun weekend. Stay warm. I guess this is something that we can touch on, and that is, warm up or feeder or you know, whatever you want to call them, sets leading into the sets where you were, you know, really actually doing your work. You know, whether you're a volume-based person or like true progressive overload, you know, the top set, back off set, like truly track volume on your hard sets, you know, you got to do some kind of warm-up. So, you know, I'll share my personal thought process when warming up for things, and that is I am trying to expend as little energy as possible to get as much blood flow and as much, you know, connection to the muscle, if you will. And I know that's like a bullshit, like hot topic term, but, you know, really and truly, I'm really just trying to put some blood in the muscle and then build a connection with the exercise, feel the exercise, especially if it's like towards earlier in the session. So, you know, especially earlier in the session, I might do, you know, 3, you know, warm-ups, and, you know, the first 1 or 2 might be, you know, 10 to 15 reps. And, you know, as we get a little heavier and a little closer to that working set, I might go down to like 6 or 8. And then you saw me just here, you know, I was like 30 or 40 pounds off my top set weight, and I literally did it 3 times, you know, just to really, you know, get acclimated to the feel of the exercise being relatively loaded. So, boiled down to a nutshell, you know, like I said, in one simple sentence, do as little as you possibly can to feel primed and ready for the set. You don't want to take away energy that you could be putting into your actual work. Good. Sorry, I wouldn't have been interrupted unless I needed to say something. You saw me just cue Jordan there on his top set, and this is something that I have to say because I see it all the time and it bugs the shit out of me. There's a time and a place to cue people and have your hands all over them and be saying shit to them and expecting them to listen to you, and it's prior to those top sets. You know, you don't need to be trying to tell people a million different things whenever they're in the middle of their top sets, really sending something, unless it's like, okay, he needs to change this, otherwise he's going to hurt himself, or we're really missing the mark here. So, you know, it's one of those, like, okay, I'm going to say something. But you should not be like, okay, externally rotate, blah, 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 and have your hands all over someone when they're like doing their top sets. You know, if they're not doing it right, you should see that in their warm-up sets, cue them on it, and then like help them work on their top sets. Don't distract them. I do have shorts on, guys, I swear.
Like, oh, we're changing our train.
If I ever train in just spandex, it will be very close to a contest, and they will be banana yellow. Because I want to be like Ronnie, and we'll be lunging in the parking lot. That is one, but Ronnie did it, that I can get behind.
Yes, 100%.
Come on. Here we go. 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 Get there. Get there. That it? Okay. Best way to describe what's going on in Jordan's head, it's got the Super Mario Kart pause and menu music just going on at all times. So for those of y'all that don't know, pretty sure most of y'all do know at this point, I live in Houston, Texas, but what a lot of y'all might not know unless you live here or in surrounding areas is, holy shit, the allergies are bad a lot of the year for most people. So yeah, if you see me like hacking, sneezing, coughing, crying, simultaneously doing all the above at the same time, I'm not sick, I just have really bad allergies right now. You know, at the beginning of the video I kind of told y'all how I've been dealing with like some imbalances and some strains like over the years. Well, you know, part of, you know, what I did to combat this while I was doing, you know, the outside of the gym, or still in the gym, but outside of the training session work, you know, to correct the imbalances and the tightness is I started doing my leg extensions, like the actual work, like to failure sets before I would do my compound. And normally I don't like to do that because I don't like squatting or like leg pressing or this or that with my legs that full of blood. But in that setting, whenever things aren't properly aligned and I'm really tweaking things kind of regularly, it was a great tool to pre-exhaust and not have to use as much load on the compounds and really able to focus on driving evenly and keeping things where I want to keep them. So for a really long time I was doing leg extensions for work, 2 or 3 sets before I'd go to either a pendulum and then a leg press, and not hacks, because ever since I started hacking again I'd start with hacks. But now that everything's firing properly and everything feels good again, I'm doing 2 sets just for some blood, like very, very, very sub-maximal effort, just to put some blood in my quads since we just got done, filling the hams to the brim. And then I'm gonna go hack squat, and I'll do 2 sets to failure, and then I'll come back to the leg extensions at the end of the session, which is where I like to do them, where I program them for people if they are completely healthy, because you're just able to just wring every last bit of everything you can out of your quad, especially when you have a prime one and you're able to play around with where the resistance really rolls on. But we'll talk about that when we come back to it. For those curious, we are listening to classic 2000s metal today, Spotify. It'll probably get audible as we approach the top sets, but that's what it's been so far. Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, last prep, Liv had to hide Brooklyn's fucking gummy vitamins from me. I started eating like 2 a night just because I'd sit there and savor them, but yeah, she had to hide the gummy vitamins from me.
There you go.
I really like this hack squat. Obviously, right next to me is the Arsenal hack, and I originally, when I said I was going to start hack squatting again, the main reason I chose not to start back on that Arsenal one was I wanted to start on a piece that I had no history with. I'm really bad about being really hard on myself about getting anything but the best out of myself, so I feel like if I went to this piece and I have like 5 years of history on it, and I'd be like very disappointed with myself until I reached, like my all-time best and started surpassing it. And that's not what it's about, especially right now in prep. So, what started as a more mental thing, I came to this one. This is the Nautilus hack. It's like the exact same thing as the old school OG Flex one. Same movement and design, but I'm actually going to really like it. It's very comfortable for me. While the pad isn't adjustable, the angle it has, it allows me to, get as knee over toe as possible while still being able to drive from my whole foot. And, being a bigger guy, ankle flexion can be an issue for me. So really like this hack squat. A couple of people have asked me why I'm not on the Arsenal one when I have it. So that's the reason why, is, originally just wanted to start, fresh and not worry about load and just really dial everything in. But I've grown to really like it. Gotta give a shout out to him. I'm not sponsored by him. He's been trying to make me another belt for like 2 or 3 years about belts. Once I have one I like, I just kind of use it. But Crown Customs, can't say enough good things about them, man. Does like the powerlifting thickness one and like the tapered, more traditional bodybuilding one. Can embroider literally anything on them, any kind of fabrics. And then what I really like is has built-in magnet in the tongue, so when you're wearing it, it's not flopping around if it's big, especially towards the end of prep when you're on your last hole. And then in between sets, you can slap it on things. So big shout out to Chris at Crown Customs, he's a great guy.
There you go. That was nice. Come on. There you go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Please. There you go.
I almost knocked you out.
Yes, you did. I thought I would have learned that last time.
Oh, fuck.
Good shit, man.
Glad I missed.
Me too.
Thanks, Mark. Wow. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Come on. Yep. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. Go, go, go.
Fuck. Oh yeah. Can you do me a favor and go back and tell me how many I did that set?
How many reps?
Had to refer back to a instant replay. I lost track. I only have 10 fingers, so if we go past 10, I can't count. Last week I did 8 plates for my top set and my back off. Did it 15 times for the top, 12 for the back off. This week I popped up to 8.5 for the top, hit that for 13, and then back down to 8 for the back off, and I hit that for 14. So 2 more at the same weight than last week with a heavier top set before it. So definitely a win in my book. So this is another exercise that I hadn't hadn't done in a really long time that I picked more so for the hip health and stability than the quad stimulus it offers. It offers great quad stimulus, so please don't misquote me and say Hunter says split squats suck for quads, because I know y'all will do that. But the reason I personally did these, because I took out the unilateral hip press for them, is I wanted a, free weight, more dynamic, really having to pay attention to what my core is doing, what my hips are doing, staying even for the stability and the hip health. So that's why we put these in, progressing them rapidly, but doing my best to keep my form as dialed in on them as possible, because like I said, I put them in to help everything else, not make it like the end all be all for my quad stimulus for this. Dorsiflex into the hole without that ankle having to roll in or roll out, being able to really get into the hole with my foot set right. So very much so a work in progress on that still. Okay.